Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the class. Good afternoon, Vahini. Good afternoon, Santosh. I hope everyone is safe and healthy. Good afternoon, Niharika. Good afternoon, Anjali. I hope all of you are doing fine. Before we get on to the class, let me again remind you to keep your cameras off. And if you have any doubts, please send it on the chat. Good afternoon, Sai, with the nickname of Astik. That is another ID, and you will see everything is off. Good afternoon, Krushita. To send your messages on this ID, I can read this one. It's difficult for me to see the original one. Now, let us go back into the class. What we were discussing yesterday. Anyone? What was the point of discussion in yesterday's class? What we were discussing? No one knows what we were discussing in the yesterday's class. Everyone is still joining. What we were discussing in yesterday's class. I am audible. Hopefully I'm not muted. Let me check it. Oh no, I'm not muted. Krushita says addition of vectors. Okay. So we were discussing vectors and we were discussing addition of vectors. And if I remember correctly, I had given you one problem. I think this was the problem that is on the whiteboard. And I asked you to solve it. Only 4 or 5 students actually sent their solutions. That's not good. You must do the problems. 1 or 2 problems are the one that are given to you. I hope that you solve them. How will I solve them? Let me just find the value of OA vector and OB vector. How do I get the value of OA vector? The magnitude is 10 and the angle with the x-axis is 37 degrees. So x wala component will become cos ka component. So it becomes 10 multiplied by cos of 37. Cos of 37 is 4 by 5. Do we remember this, everyone? So this side becomes 8. The x component becomes 8. Yes, Vijay, great. What about the y component? If the x component is cos of 37, the y component has to be sine of 37. Sine of 37 is 3 by 5. We must remember it. Yes, Vijay, that is correct. 6. Let us now write what is OA vector. OA vector will be equal to, looking at this component, it is 8 and it is going along positive x-axis. So it will become 8i. It becomes 8i. I hope everyone understands this. It becomes 8i. Looking at the y component, it is 6 and it is going in the upward direction. That means it is plus j. Yes, Chaturya, you are correct. Plus 8j. This is how I can write the vector OA. I hope everyone understands this. You will be very you'll be very interested to know that all these small things, you will see today we'll be solving a lot of problems from your DPP, from your exercise. And you see all these small problems will get you bigger answers. So OA vector is 8i plus 8j. Let us go on to that OB vector. So I drop a perpendicular here and I drop a perpendicular here. This is 10 units. This is 37. So this will become 10 cos of 37. I hope everyone understands this. Cos of 37 is how much? Cos of 37 is? Cos of 37? Only for 40 responses. What is cos of 37? Cos of 37 is? You don't remember cos of 37? 4 by 5. Yes, Teja. So you multiply 10 by 4 by 5. 10 by 4 by 5 and this becomes 8. The y component becomes 8. Looking at the x component, that will be 10 times sine of 37. Sine of 37 is 3 by 5. So this component becomes 6. This component becomes 6. Just Kushita, you have given me the value of OA. I am trying to get the value of or write the vector OB. OB vector, again looking. We have 6, which is going along positive x. 6 is going along positive x. So this becomes 6i. This becomes 6i. I hope everyone understands. OB vector 6i. And then I have 8, which is going in the downward direction. So it is minus j. Minus 8j. Have I written it correctly or have I written something wrong here? I have written here, I have written it wrong. I said it correctly, but I wrote it wrong. My mistake. So it would be, oops, it would be 6j, right? I'm sorry, I did not see what I've written here. I hope it is correct now. I hope it is correct now. Anyone can make a mistake. I am not an exception. I am also human. Okay, so I now need to add it. Everyone knows how to add it. So what is the final answer? The OR vector, the resultant vector of this gentleman. What is the answer? Just add them, get the answer, stay happy. So you will have 14i, you will have 14i minus 2j. You will have 14i minus 2j. I hope everyone, yes, Sai Santosh, yes, I got some answers. I got some solutions as well. They were very correct. 14i minus 2j is the final answer. How many of you got this answer? Can you raise hands? Santosh, Kushita, please send message on the other one. Okay, okay, yes, Vijay also got this answer. Only seven participants got the answer. 10, 12, okay. That is OR vector, but remember, your answer does not finish here. What is remaining to be done here? What should I do more to make it more informative, to make it more understanding? What should I do more? What should I do extra here? I must find the value of, yes, Karthik, I must find the value of what? I must find the value of the magnitude of OR. I will simply write it as OR. I'll simply write it as OR. What will be the magnitude of this? So that will be under root of 14 square plus 2 square. I don't know how much is 14 square. I think you must be knowing it. What is 2 square? I also don't know. So I hope you can get the answer for this one. I will leave it as blank. I hope you can get the answer for this one. 200 root over 200, great. Root over 200 can be done as 10 root 2. If it is root over 200, I can write it as 10 root 2, and I believe that you must have done it correctly. How do I get the angle? How do I get the angle? Tan theta. Remember, we are getting the angle from x-axis. How do I get the angle from x-axis? How do I get the tan of angle from the x-axis? Go back to the class and remember how I get the angle from x-axis. It is y, which is 2, divided by 14, which is x. So it becomes 1 by 7. So theta becomes tan inverse 1 by 7. Am I clear with the concept of how I have done this? Am I clear with the concept of how I have done this? If you can do this much, I must tell you that you have understood vectors completely. And I must congratulate you if you have done so much and if you have understood. Annex is clear. Anyone who has any doubts at this point, because this is in sort of an official ending of this vector addition wala thing. We'll be coming to something else, but sir, in which situation we take inverse? When we have to find the angle, then we take inverse for trigonometric functions. Tan of theta will give me a number. That is the ratio. Tan of 45 degrees is 1. So I know the angle here and I get the value of that ratio. That is known as trigonometric identity. If I do the inverse of it, so if I know 1, tan inverse of 1 will be equal to 45 degrees. So here I know 1 and I get the value of the angle from here. That is known as inverse function. We had done a class on inverse function. I hope everyone remembers that class where we had seen the inverse function of log. What is the inverse function of log? Anyone? What is the inverse function of log? We had done a class on inverse functions. What is the inverse function of log? Anyone? Anti-log, yes, Anna. Inverse function of log is anti-log. Inverse function of sine, cos, tan is sine inverse, cos inverse, tan inverse. We had also done one more thing in great detail. What is the inverse of differentiation? Or what is the inverse of derivative? Do we remember that? Integration, yes, Shreya. Integration is the reverse of differentiation. In differentiation, we have curve, we find its derivative or graph or slope. In integration, we have slope and we find out the curve. Do we remember this? Can I have some raised hands that we remember this, sir? Yes, yes, I am having some raised hands. Only seven people remember it. Okay, some people are saying yes, they are 15, 20. Okay, okay, 15 is good enough. I hope all of us are awake and we are paying attention to this class. Now, yes, Sanjay, great. I like your that thing. Whatever is this? What do you call this? Whatever that small thing comes, whatever it is. Emoji, yes, emoji. Someone calls it emoji. Okay, I like that emoji. What was I talking about? I forgot. Okay, so we have done the addition of vectors, but as already told beforehand that this addition of vectors is done by some special laws. We have some special laws to do this addition of vectors. Now is the day today that we will try to see those laws. Are we ready to see those laws? We already know how to add them, but now again we will see how those laws which help us in adding them look like. Yes, Chaturya. And here comes, as what Chaturya Teja has told us, the law of vector addition. And the first law by which vectors are added is known as, what is it known as? Triangle law. Yeah, triangular law of vector addition. Now we'll not go much into details of this because we already know how to add vectors. But this is just to give you a textbook representation or definition of how do we add vectors. Can everyone see how vectors are added here? What does this law state? I'll just say if two non-zero vectors are represented by two sides of a triangle, so I should have two sides of a triangle taken in the same order. Taken in the same order. Now look here. Look here. I think I can just okay, magnify it a bit. I hope it is now bigger on your screen. Now look at this side. Now look at this side OA. Can everyone see the side OA? Which is one side of the triangle. Can everyone see this side OA? This one side of the triangle. Yes, we can see that. Okay, it is taken in this order to going towards right, OA is going towards right. Then look at the second side of the triangle, which is given by the vector B. This is AB. So these are the two sides of the triangle that I've drawn with the blue pen. Do you see that, right? You see that? Okay. So this vector law says that, I'll come again and I hope I can squeeze it here. This vector law states that if two vectors can be drawn in such a way that they represent two sides of a triangle in one order, in one direction, OA and AB are the directions, then the resultant is given by the closing side, the side which completes the triangle, closing sides of the triangle, but in opposite order. See, what would opposite order mean here? If I would have gone like this, from B to O, the red one, that would be in the same order. O to A to B to O, that would be the same order. Are you understanding my point of the order thing? OA, AB, BO, that would be the same order. So if I go from B to O, that would be the same order, but it says that we must go in the opposite order. We must go in the opposite order. What does that mean? What does that mean? So instead of going from O to B, from B to O, I must go from O to B. I must go from O to B. So this is how it is written. OA vector, please write OA vector plus AB vector, OA vector plus AB vector becomes equal to OB vector. Am I clear? The green one. This is the triangular law. We understand this. Can I have some raised hands? And yes, sir, no, sir, we are there in this universe, sir. OA plus AB becomes OB in this universe. Correct. Now, what is the way of remembering it? The way is very simple. See, you don't actually, let me take this diagram off. This diagram is not there, so I've just butchered it. You can't see the diagram now. Diagram is gone. Now, if someone writes, let me write something else. Let me write AB vector. This is some vector which is not drawn, just written AB vector plus BC vector. AB vector plus BC vector. Now you don't have any diagram in your head. You just have AB vector and BC vector, and I've written AB vector plus BC vector, applying some common sense. Can you tell me what will be the answer for this? Sai has come with an answer. Niharika has come with an answer. Hannah, Deepak, everyone, I think you have studied this. I'm very glad if you have done that. Great. AB vector plus BC vector becomes AC vector. That is known as triangular law. Yes, Santosh, you are also correct. Now you must be wondering, most of you, if you have not understood it, must be wondering, sir, how is this possible? Without even drawing any triangle, without even drawing anything, not looking at the sides, how can anyone tell me the answer? How can anyone tell me the answer of just by seeing at the vector, just by looking at the A, B and BC? So I will ask all of you who have given the answer to tell me, how is this magic happening? Magically, how can you get the answer? It's magic. It's magic. You have not drawn the vector, you have not seen anything, but you have given the answer. How is it possible? Anyone? B is common hona chahiye beta. Hanak, it must be common. So see, the trick lies here. As what Hanak has told me, Hanak is improving day by day, and I'm very impressed with his performance. By considering the sides of a triangle, okay, Kartik? See the small trick. It's not a small trick, it's just common sense. See, OA. So the vector starts from O and it finishes at A. O is the tail, A is the head. Now the second vector will start from the head. So this becomes the tail of the first vector, the second vector, sorry, and B becomes the head of the second vector. So basically I take this common part out. Tail of second vector and the head of first vector is taken out. Whatever remains is my answer. So my answer is OB. The tail of the first vector and the head of the second vector. Am I clear? Everyone understands the magic part? How we did that magic? It's not magic, it's common sense. In magic, we are just trying to create an illusion. This is also an illusion. Yes. Now see, the same thing was done in this second one. AB vector. A is the tail of the first vector. B is the head of the second vector. Let me write it as tail and head. Then B for the second vector is the tail. A for the second vector is the head. We take out this B part common, take out the head and tail of the first and the second vector. What is left is the tail of the first vector, head of the second vector. And here comes my answer, AC vector. Am I clear? How we have done this magic? Will you be able to repeat the magic? Will you be able to repeat the magic? Everyone is confident? Chalo, let's see. Challenge for everyone. Challenge for everyone. Let's see who gets it first. Let's see who gets it first. PQ vector plus QR vector. PQ vector plus QR vector would be how much? I need more answers. I need more answers. PR also stands for personal relation, but here it's not personal relation, it is PR vector. Yes. Very nice, everyone. I'm very glad to see how you are responding. And as I said, there is no magic over here. There is no magic. Simply, we're just applying some common sense. Q is common. Q taken out. I will not write everything else. Q taken out. P and R taken in. The answer is PR. Am I clear with this? Am I clear with this concept? Can I have some raised hands? At least I should have around, we have 50, 51 people. I must have around 20, 25 raised hands. 20, 25 yeses or no noise. I have around 12, 15 raised hands, and I have around 5 or 6. Yes, okay. So I'm somewhere around 20, 25 figure. Great. We understand this. This is triangular law of vector addition in very simple terms. Now let me also draw it once and just make you understand it in a more better way, that if I had to draw it, and now I'll draw some things, and then I will look for an answer. So everyone sees this, right? Everyone sees this. Okay. Now let us say that I have this vector OA, and I have this vector. It can go in any direction. Can go in any direction. OB. OB. What will OA vector plus AB vector equal to? OA vector plus AB vector equal to? OA vector plus AB vector equal to? And the answer would be OB. So I join O with B. That is my answer. Am I clear? So OA vector plus OB vector will give me OA vector plus AB vector will give me OB vector. Doesn't matter how they are moving. Doesn't matter where they are going. It's always is like that. Am I clear? Let me have one more example. One vector could have gone here. So OA vector plus AC vector. Now give me the answer for this one. OA vector plus AC vector. Give me the answer for this one. What is the answer for this one? OC vector. Correct. Correct, beta. Very good. Very nice. OC vector. This vector plus this vector becomes this vector. Again, I'm using triangular law. Again, I am not wanted. I have used triangular law. Am I clear with everyone? It could have been going in any direction, beta. It doesn't matter. It could have gone like this. Let me call this as AD vector. Let me call this as AD vector. Doesn't matter where are the vectors going. What is OA vector plus AD vector now? Tell me. What is OA vector plus AD vector now? It is OD vector. It goes like this. This vector plus this vector would give me this vector. This is what we know, what we call as triangular law of vector addition. Am I clear? Triangular law of vector addition. I hope I'm clear. Now let me again give you one thing, and I hope that you can solve it. I don't know if you know it. Obviously, I have not told you. Now let me write this OA vector. And again, it has got nothing to do with the drawing, where the vector is going, how the vector is going, nothing, common sense. OA vector plus AB vector, please listen to me very carefully, eyes on the board, plus BC vector. Now I am talking about three vectors. Talking about three vectors, and Deepak has an answer. Very good, Deepak. That is the correct answer. Now I have three vectors here. I have talked about triangular law. Triangular law can only add two vectors, but now I'm asking you to add three vectors. How do you add three vectors? The answer is still OC, and the concept still remains same. This vector OA plus AB will give me what? This vector will give me what? This vector will give me OB vector. So I have added it using which law? I have added OA plus AB using which law? Tell me in answer. I already have 250 messages. I have added OA vector plus AB vector with triangular law. Yes, Niharika. Yes, Niharika. So I got OB. So I got OB. Now what would I do? Now I would add OB vector with BC vector. And again, which law I will use to add OB vector with BC vector? Which law I will use to add OB? Again, I will use triangular law. This B and this B will go away. And I have OC vector. So basically what I have done here, can anyone tell me in short what I have done here? I have added three vectors and used the triangular law 2 times. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, I have added triangular law, or I have used triangular law 2 times. But I cannot call it double triangular law. I have added vector using double triangular law. Then if it is 3 or 4 vectors, I will call it triple triangular law, 4 triangular law, 5 triangular law. No, this is not the way I call it. Then if I have more than 2 vectors, what law I call it? If I have more than 2 vectors, I call it the polygon law of vector addition. Am I clear? The polygon law of vector addition. If I have more than 2 vectors, I will call it the polygon law of vector addition. Are we there? Are we there in the same universe? Do we understand this? Chaturya only says yes. What about the rest? Raise hands. Yes, sir. No, sir. We are in this universe, sir. 5, only 5. Again, I'll repeat them. If I have two vectors, I can add them using triangular law. If I have more than two, I will have to use multiple triangular laws multiple times. I call it polygon law of vector addition. I call it polygon law of vector addition. Now look, now look at how I have added them, and then I'll try to do it here only. It might look a bit clumsy, but let us do it here so that you understand. So the directions are not given. I'll just draw some random directions. So let us say this was my vector OA. I hope everyone is following me. I'm trying to draw these three vectors, which we have added, and we have drawn nothing. So this might be my OA vector. My AB vector might be like this. My AB vector might be like this. Okay. Then my BC vector might be like this. So I've drawn three different vectors in three random directions. How I've added them? Look there. Now I'll draw. First I will add OA vector with AB vector, and I will get what? I will get OB vector. Am I clear? Deepak, I have used triangular law number 1. First triangular law I've used. Now I will add 3 dots. OB vector with BC vector, and I will get OC vector. 3 dots. So now I have used the triangular law second time. Basically, triangular law used more than one time becomes your what? Polygon law. Becomes your polygon law. Am I clear? Becomes your polygon law. If I give you one question here, and I'll add some vectors. OA vector plus AB vector plus BC vector plus CD vector plus D vector. So I think I have added 5 vectors just to make a point. Without even looking at them, just looking at the numbers, just looking at how they are written, I can simply write the answer as yes, Niharika and everyone else. The answer is the tail of the first vector. I must mark it here. The tail of the first vector and what? Head of the last vector. But remember, all the vectors must be arranged in the same format. Yes, Santosh. Tail of the first one, head of the last one, and we are done. And that would be known as which law? That would be known as which law? Polygon law of vector addition. So we'll just skip away this one. This is subtraction of vectors. Where is the polygon law? Must be there somewhere. Okay, I think it is missing here. Maybe. So you've understood. I think it was here. Let me see where it has gone. This polygon law was there in the from polygon law vector addition. Must be there somewhere. Or did I miss it? Okay, I missed it before that subtraction thing. I missed it before the subtraction thing. It just went away. So this is polygon law of vector addition. What does this polygon law of vector addition state? And I will say, if a number of non-zero vectors are represented by n minus 1, it can be 3, 4, 5, 6 sides of an n-sided polygon, then the resultant is given by the closing side or the nth side taken in the opposite order. Now look at here, I will draw all these vectors with the red ink. The first vector is OA, the second vector is AB, the third vector is BC. Are you following me, everyone? Or I have gone too fast at the speed of light? Yes, you are following me. The fourth vector is CD. The fifth vector is DE. And I have the final answer. And the final answer is OE. Am I clear? Am I clear? You all understand this? This is known as Polygon law of vector addition. Clear? Okay. Now, I will not go into parallelogram law because I just don't want you to get confused. Whether you call it triangular law or whether you call it parallelogram law, they both are same. So I will just leave it to you to just go through that parallelogram law, or probably we'll do it once we are done with all the questions and everything. Then I'll just tell you what is parallelogram law and we'll finish it up here. The point that I want to tell you in detail was, how do you subtract vectors? How would you subtract vectors? We have only read addition laws. How will I subtract? How will I subtract? Any idea? How will you subtract vectors? Instead of addition, if someone tells you, beta, subtract vectors, how will you subtract vectors? Any idea how will you subtract vectors? No idea? Okay. Let us do a problem. There is nothing more easier than just doing a problem. Chaturi, I'll just come to you. Let me just do a problem. Let us say that I have a OA vector, and this OA vector is 2i minus 3j. Okay, and then I have one vector which is OB vector, and OB vector is 3i plus 2j. We have already added them. Let us subtract them. Can you find me OA vector minus OB vector? Can you find me OA vector minus OB vector? Anyone? Can you find me OA vector minus OB vector? Anyone? I'm waiting for your answers. OA vector minus OB vector. And you have no knowledge about how to subtract vectors. I already have 300 messages coming up. Answer is minus I minus j. I'm getting some answers. Minus I. Santosh says, I don't think minus I is the answer, beta. Someone says minus I minus 5j, which I think is the, Santosh is saying, Niharika is saying minus I minus 5j, which I think is the correct answer. How to do it? Just subtract as we were doing. This is 2i minus 3i. Instead of adding, subtract. 2i minus 3i. So it will be minus I. It will be minus I. Minus 3j minus 2j minus 5j. And that is our answer. I minus I minus 5j. Am I clear? Am I clear? So we must understand here that there is no extra law for subtraction of vectors. So what I have done here, if you look very closely, what I have done here is I have still added OA vector plus, but I have added the negative of OB vector. Am I clear? Are you getting my point, everyone? So I have taken OB vector, found the negative of it, and then added it. So that is how you subtract vectors. Subtraction and addition, as you can see, subtraction and addition, as you can see, are the one and the same thing. When you add two positives. When you subtract, you add one positive to the negative of the other one. Am I clear? Or is it creating a doubt in your head? Am I clear how we have added vectors and subtracted vectors? One more question coming your way. One more question coming your way. I hope you can do this. So I have OA vector 4i minus 3j. I have OB vector minus 2i minus j we have to find OA vector minus OB vector. I hope I will get all correct answers this time. Everyone will be attempting it and I will get correct answers. Chaturya is already there with an answer. Chaturya says 6i minus 2j, which I think is the correct answer. Santosh also gives me the same answer. Same with Deepak. Only 3 answers up till now. Narika also comes up with an answer. Great. So what I got to do? Just do what is required. Subtract or put a minus sign over here and subtract this. 4i minus 2i becomes 6i. Minus 3i minus 3j minus j becomes minus 2j. That becomes our final answer. I hope you can add and subtract. Am I clear? Am I clear? Please do not make stupid mistakes. You have to put a minus sign here. Please remember that. And do the addition and subtraction as required. Please do not do a stupid mistake. Someone gave me the answer as 2i minus 2j. Beta, you have added them or subtracted them wrongly. Minus of minus 2i becomes plus of 2i. Please remember these small things because these small things will make a big dent onto your marks finally. Am I clear with this concept? Shall I move ahead? We have done polygon law, we have done triangular law, parallelogram. I'll let you know once we are done with this. It's not important at this point in time. Now, what is important here is that we are trying to again get a shortcut of the addition of two vectors. Now, we know how we can add vectors. Whatever vectors are given, we can just break them into I and j, find out in the form of I and j, and simply add them. But there is a small shortcut here also that you can use. And now we are going to see that shortcut. We are going to see that shortcut of vector addition. So you can write a heading shortcut. But again, this shortcut is only valid for two vectors. So if you have more than two vectors, which I don't think that you would have, then you can use this shortcut as to add those two vectors. Now, how do I use this shortcut? Anyone has any idea how do I use this shortcut? Let us say I have two vectors. This is vector number 1. Again, I have not drawn it correctly. I don't know when I will draw it correctly. And then I have vector number 2. Okay, I have these two vectors. Now, let us for simplicity call the lower vector as vector A. I'm not calling it OA, OB, OC. Just call it as vector A. And I will call this vector as vector B. Is the scenario clear to everyone? I have two vectors, vector A and vector B. And the angle between them is theta. Now, this concept has been elaborated in your notes. If you want to understand how it comes, you can look at the notes and you can understand them. But right now, our concern is not how it is achieved. The concern is how I get the result. So the resultant of these two vectors are vector, which is nothing but A vector plus B vector, which is A vector plus B vector. If I want to find the magnitude of the resultant, it can be given by this formula. What is the formula? If someone can tell me the formula, I will be very glad. What will be the formula for this? Resultant ka formula? Anyone has read it? It is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. 2AB. Where A square stands for what? It stands for the magnitude of A ka square. B square stands for magnitude of B ka squared, and theta stands for the angle between A and B. And remember, see small things. The angle is between the tails of the two vectors. See how the tails are joined? Their tails are joined at one point. So you have to find that angle with the tail of the two vectors make with each other. Am I clear with this concept? Am I clear with this concept? Am I clear with this concept? Now, look very closely. Now, the resultant of these two vectors, would be going in some particular direction like this, in between these two, and this is the resultant vector R. You have already found out the magnitude. You have already found out the magnitude of this vector. Yes or no? You have already found out the magnitude of this vector. Yes or no? Please raise hands that we know the magnitude of this vector. What is the other thing? What is the other thing that you must know about this vector? Please tell me, anyone. We know the magnitude of this vector, R vector. Direction. Yes, Niharika. Direction is to be known. Angle, Teja says correctly. So I must know this angle that it makes with the vector A. Remember my words. Look at what I'm speaking. Look at what I'm writing, and look at what I'm drawing. What angle it makes with which vector? What angle it makes with which vector? A. So I will find out this angle, tan of this phi. Do you understand tan of phi? This tan of phi would be given by, B times sine of theta, divided by A plus B times cos of theta. B times sine of theta divided by A plus B times cos of theta. This is the angle with what? Angle with which vector? Please tell me, angle with which vector? I'm waiting for your answers. Angle with which vector? A vector. Very correct. Now I'll give you one homework question. You will not find it in any book. No book will tell you this. So you have to do it on your own. If instead of A vector, I wanted to know this angle. What is this angle? The yellow one that I've drawn. Let me call this as xi. Again, a Greek alphabet. I already have 350 messages. Great. Good going. If I wanted to find this angle xi, tan of xi, how will I get the value of tan of xi? Which is the angle it makes with which vector? It is the angle with which it makes with the vector B. Would you be able to tell me what angle it makes with the vector B? That is your homework. I hope you get the answer for this one. We don't require it, but this is just for your general knowledge so that you can think how I can get this vector, how can I get that vector. Okay, someone is there with an answer as well. Think about it. And let me know the answer. Okay, shall we move ahead? Shall we solve a question now? Okay, here comes a question based on this. The magnitude of A vector is 5 units. The magnitude of B vector is 2 units. Angle between them is say 30 degrees. Find the magnitude and direction of resultant vector. Can you do this? We have one vector whose magnitude is 5. We have other vector whose magnitude is 2. The angle between them is 30 degrees. Can you get me the value of the resultant of the two vectors and the direction? Can you get me the resultant of the two vectors? Anyone? Square root of 29, 10 root 3 plus 10 root 3. What does that mean? Okay. So I just given this question by my experience. The answer may not look very attractive, but that is not my uh, reason. The reason is that you understand the formula. So how will I get the value of the resultant? Resultant will be equal to root over a squared. A squared is 5 squared plus b squared. B squared is 2 squared plus 2 times magnitude of vector A multiplied by magnitude of vector B. So 2 times 5 multiplied by 2 multiplied by cos of 30 degrees. Cos of 30 degrees is root 3 by 2. So I have what? This is 25, this is 4, 29 root over 29 plus 2 into 5, 10, 10 into 2, 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So 10 root 3. It looks very awkward, but we can't help it. Let us remain it like, let us keep it like this. So that is the magnitude. Am I clear? Right. How do I get the angle with the x-axis? So tan theta, not with the x-axis, with the vector A. How will I get the angle with the vector A? So I take B into sine theta into sine of 30 divided by A is 5 plus B times cos of 30. Am I clear? Am I clear with this? Sure? Okay. Shall I give you one more? So you just have to put the formula, get the answer, stay happy. Give you one more? Okay. This one might look more enterprising. I have two vectors. A vector is having a magnitude of 6 units. B vector is having a magnitude of 8 units. The angle between them is 90 degrees, so they are perpendicular. Find the magnitude and direction of the resultant vector. Can you do this for me? Everyone, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? I'm waiting for your answers. Waiting for answers here. Already have around 350 messages, 360, 70. I hope I've replied to everyone. If I missed someone, please let me know. Messages. Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. R is equal to 10. Yes, correct, Chaturday, correct, Vijay. R is 10. Magnitude is 10, beta. Please say the entire thing. Say the entire thing, it becomes good. Resultant the magnitude is 10. What about the direction? Also tell me the direction. Also tell me the direction. Magnitude is 10, Deepak. Yes, you are correct. Absolutely correct. How do I get it? Anyone with both answers? Magnitude is 10, yes, Santosh. I got it. So resultant will be equal to under root of, get used to this formula. You might have to use it many times. 6 squared is 36 plus 8 squared is 64 plus 2 times 6 multiplied by 8 multiplied by cos of 90. How much is cos of 90? 0. Yes, it will be. So R becomes, magnitude becomes 10. Tan of theta, you have to find the value of tan of theta with the vector A. Please tell me the formula. Please tell me the formula. It will be B times sine of 90, B sine theta. You and I forget the formula many times. If I forget, direction is not 6 by 8, beta. Please give me the correct answer. A is 6, plus 8 times cos of 90. The direction is 6 by 8, which is 4 by 3. That is tan theta beta. Tan theta is 4 by 3. Please give me the correct answer. That implies theta will be, someone asked me where we use the inverse function. Here we use inverse function beta. Tan inverse of 4 by 3. That will give me what? That will give me the angle. Yes, beta. Tan inverse of 4 by 3 is 53 degrees. So it makes an angle of 53 degrees with the A vector. And just to give you a picture of what it is looking like, let me draw it for you. Give me a minute. So this vector is which vector? Okay, so what I have drawn here are the two vectors. This vector is A vector, this vector is B vector. Is everyone getting my point? They are at 90 degrees to each other. Can I have some raised hands? This is how these vectors might look like. Can I have some raised hands? That we understand this, that this is the way these vectors might look like. Where is the resultant going? Where is the resultant going? The resultant vector is going like this, something like this. Please tell me that we have understood this. This is the resultant vector. Everyone understands this? And which angle is 50 degrees? Tell me which angle is 53 degrees. Which angle is 53 degrees? With the x-axis, not Santosh. There is no axis here. There is vector A and vector B here. Yes, Jayashankar, with vector A. Please don't call it x-axis because right now it is vector A. I hope you understand the irony of it. It is obviously x-axis, but right now we are finding the angle with the vector A and not with our axis. Am I clear? Am I clear? Yes, great. So with this, we come to an end of whatever I had to teach you in vectors and addition of vectors. In the notes, you might find multiplication of vectors as well. You do not require it now. So we'll do it at a later date. What I'm going to do now, is to solve some questions. I hope you have solved some questions of the DPP. Have you solved any question of the DPP up till now? Have you solved any question of the DPP or the solved examples? Have you solved any question of the solved examples up till now? Yes or no? Okay, let us do some problems, and these problems are basically taken from your solved examples. Do you have your solved examples in front of you? Do you have your solved examples in front of you? This is one question, I think, which is question number 20. It's written 2. This is actually question number 20 from your solved examples. Please look at the question. There are two force vectors. One is 5 Newton, other is 12 Newton, comma. At what angles the two vectors should be added to get the resultant vector as number 1, 17, number 2, 7, number 3, 13. That is problem number 20 as what I can see from your notes. And then you are given 4 options. You have two vectors, 5 Newton, 12 Newton. How will you make them 17 Newtons, 7 Newtons, and 13 Newtons? The options are there in front of you. Can anyone tell me the answer? Have you seen this problem before? Anyone? Is there in your notes, beta? You do not have your notes with you? The notes of vectors? You do not have notes of vectors? What I'll do is I'll put the notes that I have in your group. I don't know what's The notes must be there in your app, beta. It must be there in your app. I had given it way back. It must be in your app. If it is not, I'll find it out. Okay. Forget about the notes. Tell me what is the answer to this one. I have two vectors. One is 5 Newton. The other is 12 Newtons. I should get 17 Newtons. So what should be the angle between the two? To get 17 Newtons from 5 and 12 Newtons, what should be the angle? Option A is the answer, sir. Yes. So if I have to get 17, both the vectors should be in the same direction. So this must be 5 Newton. This must be 12 Newton. They must be in the same direction. Then only I will get 17. Yes or no? Please tell me yes or no. Yes or no? Okay. Now I want to get 7. To get 7, one vector, if it is like this, 5 Newton, the other vector must be like this. So basically we are adding them, but in short, we would be subtracting because one vector is going in this direction, the other vector is going in this direction. So now the answer would be 7 Newtons. So now look at the option. Option number A says 0 and 180. So in this case, the angle is 0 degrees because they are parallel. Angle is 0 degrees. In this case, they are anti-parallel, opposite to each other. So the angle is 180 degrees. So the answer has to be option A and nothing else. Am I clear? Am I clear? Can I have some raised hands? Only 2 people have understood this? Only 4? Yes, I got some answers. Great. Now, how do I get 13 Newton out of 12 and 5? I told you, I gave you this question. 12, 5 and 13 are known as Pythagorean triplets. Did I tell you that? So 12 squared plus 5 squared becomes 13 squared. Means they must be perpendicular to each other. If one vector is like this, 5 Newton, the other vector is like this, 12 Newtons, 5 square plus 12 square, the answer would be 13 Newton. Yes or no? You understand this? Yes. The third will be 90 degrees and that would be your answer. The first angle is 0 degrees. The second angle is 180 degrees. The third angle is 90 degrees. Will you be able to solve such question if it comes again? Yes or no? Do you understand this question? That is the answer that we have got. Okay, we'll leave this question because might not be able to solve this one. So we'll leave this. Okay. This one. Problem number 4. It is given problem number 4 here. It will be problem number 22 from your books. Problem number 22 from your book, from your notes. Vector A is given as 4i minus 3j. Vector B is given as 6i plus 8j. You have to find the magnitude and direction of A plus B. You have to find the magnitude and direction of A plus B. Can you get me this answer? How will you get the magnitude and direction of A plus B? Someone is there with an answer? C. Someone gave me an answer C. Okay. B. Santosh says B. Great. I'm getting some answers. How are we going to add this? So just add A plus B. We have already done that. A plus B vectors. Simply add them. So 4i plus 6i would be, I think, 10i. And minus 3j plus 5, minus 3j plus 8j will be plus 5j. So that would be my vector. Yes or no? Yes or no? Great. I find the magnitude of this vector. So the magnitude of this resultant vector, I call it R, that will be equal to under root of 10 squared plus 5 squared. 10 squared plus 5 squared. 10 squared is 100. 5 squared is 25. So it is 125. 125 can be written as 5 root 5. As soon as you get 5 root 5 and you see that only one option has 5 root 5, you don't need to go any further. You can just mark that option as the correct one. Now, many a time, students ask me, sir, please tell us some shortcuts of solving or getting an answer. So this is one of the shortcuts. You don't have to find the direction here because in the options, all the magnitudes are different. Are you getting what I'm saying? Please say that, sir, we are understanding you, what you are saying. I don't have to find the direction here. Just by finding out the magnitude, just by finding out one part of the answer, you should be able to mark the correct one. Am I clear? Just by doing it, just by finding out the magnitude, you should be able to find the correct option. If it had two options, for example, option C had 5 root 5. Option C had 5 root 5. Then, since you have two options with 5 root 5, then you find out the direction. Let us find out the direction here also. Tan theta from the x-axis would be equal to 5 divided by 10. That will be equal to 1 by 2. That implies theta will be equal to tan inverse of half. Am I clear? How do we get the answer? But here I don't have to find out the direction because only one option had the correct magnitude. With this small discussion, I would like to end today's class, and I will see whether your notes are there in your app or not. I will find it out. I will try to put them in your group if it is not there. And in tomorrow's class, we will be solving some more questions from the sheet, as well as some questions from the DPP. I would request that you start solving questions from question number 20 or 21. You start solving from 21, and you can solve questions till, again, I tell you that you might not be able to solve. Question number 29 is the line in this the last in this category. 21 to 29 you must solve. Then in the next section you will have questions starting from 30. So from 30 you must solve till, let me see which one, till I think 37. But again, most of the questions here would be out of course right now. So even you can solve 2 or 3 from 30 to 37. That will be good enough. So from 21 to 37, you should be trying the questions. I will be putting the notes if it is not there already. We'll meet in the next class.